College tuition has increased every year in Wisconsin for the past 5 years, making it even more difficult for some students and families to afford it.
That's why many are questioning the university system after a new report shows hundreds of millions of dollars of surplus in the budget. News 8's Carrie Vick joins us with more on UW-La Crosse's role in the surplus.
Well, Mark and Lisa, a recent report shows the UW system had a $650 million surplus. More than $400 million of that was made up of tuition dollars. As you can imagine, for students and families who see tuition continue to rise, that can be a frustrating number. But university officials say the money set aside at EWL is just sound business practice. To hear millions of your tuition dollars are in a reserve fund can be a bit
frustrating.
UW-La Crosse Student Association President Nick Bazire says the $414 million of tuition money in the UW System Reserve Fund is unsettling.
I am concerned with how fast that reserve balance has grown. Considering the tuition increases that we've had to endure for the past several years.
At UW-La Crosse, $27 million of tuition is set aside in a reserve fund. That's about 25% of the yearly tuition total. Chancellor Joe Gao says it's just good business practice.
I would ask the critics, what motive would we have to, just sit on money? Why would we do that? We're a not-for-profit enterprise. So we try to spend as much as we can on the resources that make it a great university, but we have to be careful about that, and that means holding some money in reserve.
Representative Jill Billings says it's not a question of whether the university should have a reserve fund, but what that dollar amount should be.
The question is, how much is appropriate to keep back in reserves, and who should decide that number?
It's a question she will work to answer with her colleagues in Madison.
I'm on the Colleges and University Committee, and we'll be looking at that question, I'm sure.
In the meantime, Bazire hopes people will take the time to understand the situation as a whole, no matter how frustrating it may seem on the surface.
Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the different issues that we as a campus and as a system face, and the funding that we need to address those issues.
The Finance Officers Association says the university should have a reserve fund of about 25%. With a $27 million tuition reserve fund, Chancellor Joe Gao says that puts UWL right in line with the recommendation.
All right, thank you, Carrie. State legislators are responding to the report by calling for a 2-year tuition freeze. Chancellor Joe Gao was hoping for a 2 to 4% tuition increase.